Yeah, maybe. He's a handsome English doctor. Dating has changed.
Oh, hello, Kay. This is Nick Baxter.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Women are less willing to settle for an unsatisfactory relationship just to have a family.
Canadian women who underwent in vitro fertilization became pregnant.
And now they don't have to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick.
A lot of beautiful, smart young women are either freezing their eggs or pursuing pregnancy on their own.
There's 5 of us on the street who are single moms by choice.
It is an interesting shift.
We refer to them as single parents by choice, but for some of these people, they feel more like it's a single parent because of lack of choice.
Oh, is this one going?
The last online date I went on, the guy tried to convince me to do an insurance scam. And then at the end of the date, he asked me again. I was like, I'm absolutely not committing insurance fraud with you.
The number one reason people are having children later is because they're meeting a partner later in life.
3 of them happened to be 36-year-old men called Sean. And nothing ever came of any of them, but it was like a joke in my friend group.
In my early 30s, I was starting to feel a lot of stress around dating. Realized you're not stressed about finding a partner, you're stressed about starting a family.
Nice hanging. Can you get to the next one? Do you want me to catch you down? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I've also really identified as being an aunt to my friends' kids and to my sister's kids.
Do you want to turn around and go back?
I just remember literally crying to my mom and being like, how does my future not include having a family?
I'm just talking to Kate, darling. I know it's annoying to wait. Many partnered mothers are still functionally single parents. Being a single mom is more socially acceptable now, but then cultural depictions are far behind. Mummy pig and daddy pig. Mm-hmm. And there's no household with just mummy pig.
I would say that the nuclear family has been a bit of a failure. For some women, the opportunity to have a child on their own is definitely liberating. A lot of women are now seeing it as preferable to settling into an unhealthy relationship.
Yes, I want a home and kids, but I'm not going to be a fool like Mother bending over a wash tub all her life while Dad went around as free as air.
My criteria was someone who had a nice smile. I made a short list, you can like people.
It looks exactly like a dating app.
His fingers are in a bowling ball.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, and there's a sperm icon.
You get a lot of information about these people. Height, weight, eye color, hair color, ethnicity, genetic profile.
In Canada, you're not allowed to sell sperm, but in the States you can.
A vial of sperm can cost $1,000, and you never know how many vials you're gonna need.
Should I show you my donor? This is my donor.
Oh, he's got a lovely smile.
Isn't he? I'm totally happy with my decision.
I think you better take me to the doctor tomorrow.
I am seeing a lot more women say, I just started dating this guy. I'm not sure where it's going, but I wanted to do this for myself and evaluate my fertility. Come on in and have a seat over here. This little guy, which is that's the little blood that pushes out, that's the inner cell mass. So what becomes the baby?
The embryo increases rapidly in size. The limbs assume more specific shapes. The fetus averages about 6 inches in length.
Isn't that Eileen? Gee, I haven't seen her since she left school.
Despite all of the warnings about how challenging single parenthood is, I'm still going to do this because I really want to be a parent. I'm going to be bolstered by all the other women I know who are thinking about or actually doing the same thing. I saw my neighbor and saw that she was pregnant, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this on my own. I was like, I am also doing that on my own. And then she told me about 2 other people on the street. I live on a street where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us are planning to do this.
Now, when I see a patient, they've already had 2 or 3 friends who've done this on their own. They're not as fearful of the process. Hopefully, if and when they do get pregnant, they have a community of support to sort of raise that baby with.
Everybody gets a little impatient for the baby toward the end of pregnancy. But for you and your husband, those last weeks do seem to drag a little.
I'm confident that I have as good of a support system as you could get without having a husband with a great job.
The day will soon arrive when you will be going to the hospital. Chances are your husband will be looking forward to the day as much as you will.
Lots of people grew up without dads. I definitely had to work through that grief of like having a kid without a father because I'm really close with my dad. Like my dad's wonderful. I don't know, some people have like a useless dad and like a wonderful grandmother. Every family's different.
It is the beginning of a new era.
I think in the future, we're going to have a much more flexible definition of what family is.
He's all yours, every inch, every ounce of him.
I think we have to stop, again, thinking that when people do things the traditional way, it's going to work out perfectly, and if you do things in any less conventional way, that it's more risky.
You begin to realize how much you are going to enjoy your baby.
In the end, it boils down to giving patients choices and allowing them to be proactive about their reproductive health.
It's going to be whatever people define, and I'm starting to see that already. Groups of people loving and caring for each other, living communally.
Doctor, dancer, lawyer, president. What will he be? Now for a well-earned rest.